Basky, welcome to the Town Basketball Talking Podcast. I am your host, Adam Hess, and with me, as always, he is both Harrison Ford and Jason Segel. It's Mike Regan. Mike, how you doing today?
Happy birthday, Mr. President.
So he's Jason Segel, Harrison Ford, and Marilyn Monroe.
Skylar from Breaking Bad in like the worst scene in the show.
Does she sing Happy Birthday to someone? I don't remember that.
Yeah, remember she does the Marilyn Monroe bit with Todd Beneke.
Is this before she fucks Todd?
I think it's before she fucks Todd, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
She first starts working back there.
What's what's his name's character? Jesse Plemons? What's Jesse Plemons' characters? Gabe? Is that it?
I don't know. I just think like he's Jesse Plemons. Is he not named Jesse Plemons?
He might be named Jesse Plemons. I've been on a weird Jesse Plemons kick. By the way, we got a comment on one of our recent Baskies where someone was like, Jesus Christ, edit out the first 5 minutes or get to the fucking point. So, in response to that guy, let's talk about Jesse Plemons for a while. I've been on a weird Jesse Plemons kick recently because I keep accidentally watching movies that Jesse Plemons is in without knowing Jesse Plemons is in them.
You never do.
Yeah.
That's the secret.
Yeah. He's like the Spanish Inquisition. He's an Observe and Report, which has come out like 2 podcasts in a row now. But he's an Observe and Report.
Huh.
Yeah. A young Plem, as we call him. A Plemet.
A plump Plemon. That's what we call him. It's plump.
Remember Fat Jesse Plemons? The other one I saw him in recently was Game Night.
Oh yeah, I remember him in Game Night. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I remember like the scene where he like is talking to Will Ferrell, and Will Ferrell says the thing about the chips, and he's like, that doesn't sound profitable for the Lay's company.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are we in an all-time great era of people who used to be childhood actors and aren't complete fucking psychopaths?
They used to be childhood actors, you said?
Yeah, they were like child actors and aren't complete insane people.
Plemons was a child actor?
Dude, he's in Like Mike as a kid.
Is he really? I didn't know.
Yeah, he's like a young kid in Varsity Blues. But yeah, he's what's his face's friend in Like Mike. Like they're both orphans.
Really?
Yeah.
He's like his nerdy white friend, right?
Yeah, exactly. That's Jesse Plemons. That's the Plem. But
that's the Plem. I didn't know that.
Box office superstar Ryan Gosling. Jake Gyllenhaal. Like we're in a great era right now. Yeah, we're in a big era right now for guys who were childhood actors and didn't turn into the worst people on earth. I mean, also, we still have to deal with Shia freaking Beef, who is the opposite, but...
Yeah, Beef's getting a little wild out there.
Just now? You starting to have some suspicions that he's getting a little wild these days?
Beef's getting a little wild.
I don't know if you guys are paying attention to this, but I'm a little worried about this Shia LaBeouf character and what he's got going on.
He's getting a little out of pocket.
So to that guy who complained about us talking too much at the top of the show, that's like 5 minutes. That's only like 5 minutes of talking Plemons and prison movies and potentially buying movie tickets while we're in the middle of a podcast. Mike, it was an eventful news week in the world of the NHL.
Yeah.
Top of which featured 2 firings, one which we'll get to later in the show, so if you're wondering where our Bruce Cassidy talk is, stick around. But the other, out of nowhere seemingly, the Maple Leafs fire GM, president of hockey operations, I'm not sure exactly what his title was, but Brad Treliving is out.
He's out.
Do you think that they saw the Sabre season turn around after they fired Kevin Adams and thought, that's how we'll fix our season? We'll fire the GM and the goaltending will get really good?
No, I think they just saw the writing on the wall. They're like, things aren't going to get better under him. He's not going to turn the ship around. This isn't a one-year blip. This isn't going to be smooth sailing.
My question about this is why now?
Get a jump start on the search for the next guy?
With 8 games left in the regular season?
Well, I mean, that doesn't seem like a big deal, but that gives whoever you end up hiring, you're able to hire a guy earlier than if you waited, and then therefore that guy has more time in the lead up to the draft, this, that, and the other thing to prepare and get his staff in place. So I kind of get it. I remember back when they hired Brad Treliving, I was like, is it is it a good move to hire the guy that just like fumbled the Matthew Tkachuk and Johnny Gaudreau situation?
I mean, that's kind of revisionist history to say he fumbled that. Like, maybe you could say Gaudreau because he got nothing for Gaudreau. Because but
Gaudreau just walked.
Tkachuk told me he was going to walk, and he traded for a guy who was coming off a 100-point season.
Right, and that like when you look at the package for Tkachuk, it wasn't bad, but the problem was that he then doubled down on it when he gave Huberdeau that massive extension. That was his big mistake. Right. Speaking,
did we talk about this on the podcast, or was I talking in the comments to someone about this? Would you trade right now Jonathan Huberdeau for Elias Pettersson? Like, who says no?
Possibly the Flames. I mean, I don't know. Huberdeau's old.
Huberdeau's older. They have almost the same cap hit, and Huberdeau has slightly less term.
Yeah. That is a tough one.
It's a tough one. That's crazy.
I think the Flames say no. But speaking of
imagine going back 2 years and telling someone one day we'll find a team who would say, or who the Flames would say no to a Huberdeau trade.
They wouldn't believe it.
Yeah. Especially if I was telling that to Brad Treliving.
Yeah. But is there a fair argument? I'm going to throw something up on my screen. Is there a fair argument that Brad Treliving should have his name on one of the Florida Stanley Cups?
Okay, so Mike has, for the audio listener, he has put the two trades that the Flames and Panthers made. One of them was that the Flames sent Matthew Tkachuk and a 2025 fourth-round pick to Florida for Jonathan Huberdeau, Mackenzie Weegar, Cole Schwindt, and a 2025 first-round pick. The other trade, the year before that, the Florida Panthers receive Sam Bennett and a 2022 sixth-round pick for Emil Heineman. My apologies to Mr. Heineman. And a 2022 second-round pick. My question for you, Mike, more than should Brad Treliving get his name on one of the cups, if those draft picks both work out to be Hart-level players, does Florida deserve credit for championships in Calgary?
Well, the one pick, Brad Treliving didn't get to make the 2025 first because he was shit-canned by then. So
let's see who they drafted with that pick.
Well, he was in Toronto by then.
So they traded their pick to the Islanders, who took Victor Eklund. So they ended up with the 18th and 32nd picks in the draft. So unless Cullen Potter works out to be an all-time great,
not a great trade,
like 1C, I'm going to go ahead and say definitively that Florida won that one.
I was kind of looking over Brad Treliving's career as a whole, out of curiosity, and he actually he has a good amount of draft picks there on his resume. I mean, 13 of his 71 draft picks went on to play 100-plus NHL games. The problem is, like, the best players he drafted, like I said, drafted Bennett, drafted Tkachuk, ended up having to trade both of them. He drafted Adam Fox, who never played a single minute for the Flames. So it's just interesting. Like, I don't think he's a bad GM. I just don't know how well he is at managing the roster at times. Because, like, even most recently, like, the situation he was in with Nylander, Matthews, Marner, like, he got Nylander done, inked him to a big contract. Matthews, while, I know he's on pace to have his worst, like, statistical season of his career, still, it's Austin Matthews.
Shut down for the last 3 weeks on pace.
Yeah, and they couldn't. Oh, yeah, sure. And they couldn't ink him to a long-term deal, so he's going to hit free agency when he's 30 and make probably like $15 million by that time, whatever the cap's at.
I hear it's going up.
Yeah, and then Marner, his back against the wall, he just traded him for Nick Roy, so he could get something for him and did a sign and trade.
Didn't they flip Nick Roy this year too? After that,
they did. They got a first and I think something else. They
got a first for Nick Waugh?
Yeah, I was looking at it. I couldn't believe that either.
How much did you guys pay for Sam Carrick? You guys pay like 3 firsts for Sam Carrick?
Yeah, Colorado forked over a future first and something else for him, a couple picks. So, but I just don't think there was any signs that Treiliving was going to put this train back on the tracks come next season, so I don't blame them for moving on.
The question is the direction and intent of the Toronto Maple Leafs, and if the intent is to do like the Boston like remodel, where you partially tear it down while keeping everything up, sure. Then maybe a guy like Brad Treliving makes a lot of sense because he's an aggressive GM who makes some high leverage moves that are going to blow up in your face sometimes, and sometimes they're going to pay off really well. And he's due for one to pay off really well. I mean, obviously getting a first for Nick GOALIE ain't a bad bit of business. He's the kind of GM I like, but then the other aspect of that is he just left Calgary in the face of a rebuild. If Toronto was signaling to him, hey, we're going to tear it down to the studs. We're even thinking about moving Austin Matthews out. Is he just like maybe it was a mutual thing where he was like, I'm not interested in doing that. I would like to keep building this team. And they went, well, then here's your fucking pink slip. Go enjoy Canadian unemployment, which I assume is mostly Tim Hortons.
Yeah, you do. You get a free 15-pack of Timbits once a week.
Can you explain to me what a Timbit is? Because it sounds like fake money you'd get, like Chuck E. Cheese coins.
No, they're donut holes at Tim Hortons, and they slap. But like all their moves at the deadline were dump players for picks, like the Lofton deal, the Nick Waugh deal. I feel like there may have been a third one in there. Oh, McMahon to Seattle. Like all their moves at the deadline were just dumping for picks.
Future Hart candidate Bobby McMahon.
Yeah, for future assets. So I wonder, that does kind of like would point to maybe there was a disconnect on one end. Like Treiliving was doing what ownership was telling him to do, and it's not what he wanted to, or Treiliving was going this way, and ownership was like, no, we're the Maple Leafs, goddammit! We are supposed to be trying to contend and always failing. What are you doing?
I wonder, like we always talk about this with the NFL specifically, where when something works really well in the NFL, teams will ruin their franchise chasing that thing. Yeah. Like Josh Allen is a very raw prospect coming in, but just has an unmatched athletic profile, and he puts in the fucking work to learn how to be above the shoulders what he is beneath it, which makes it kind of sound like I said he had a huge dong. But then other teams draft like Anthony Richardson, and they're like, he'll be our Josh Allen. They draft Will Levis, being like, he'll be our Josh Allen. And guess what? Josh Allen's a once-in-a-generation prospect. I wonder if people right now are looking at specifically the Boston Bruins and saying, well, they had a one-year teardown where they just got a lot younger, and suddenly they're a playoff team again. What if we just do that? And teams are just going to end up in the mushy middle for an entire generation because they're not willing to tear down to the studs because they're getting ruined by the prospects of one franchise having it work for them.
Yeah, you can't really like put stake in like an outlier working and being like, well, that's obviously the new thing. It's like, no.
Yeah.
Like in your Josh metaphor, like the things he improved on were the things that most draft scouts would say are the hardest for a player to all of a sudden improve on in the NFL.
Yeah,
like bad decision making and poor completion percentage in college usually doesn't mean you're all of a sudden going to increase those when it comes to you get to a harder level of play.
Yeah, and same thing with Boston trading away, or having one of the most important players to your franchise retire, trading away your like all-time points leader, I think, in Marchand, and hitting on a draft or two, and suddenly the team's back, and train away one of like half of the tandem of your awesome goaltending for a year, and then just everything else hits, and you're in a competitive position. I wonder if the Maple Leafs ownership is looking at that and saying, well, we can do that. We just need the one off season. We'll just trade away, I don't know, Tavares and Nyes and get Young, but they don't have any picks. They don't have any idea who they're going to hire. Like they don't even have an interim GM right now.
Treiliving also gave Nyes 7.5 for 7 years with a no trade, so good luck with that. A parting gift from Brad Treliving. Yeah, it's like, oh, you're going to try to do the Boston model, or like who's going to be your Morgan Geekie? Who's like a depth player who all of a sudden just explodes when he gets to your team. Probably
maybe they can. Maybe they can just trade for the other Geekie and it'll work out for them.
You want to get the good Geekie.
You don't want the bad geeky. That's the problem.
The bad geeky.
You get the bad geek, suddenly you're in the end of Nightmare Alley.
Yeah. So
Is that a joke? Is that a joke for anyone? You and I watched Nightmare Alley together. Is that even a joke for
movie.
you?
Yeah, it was a good movie.
Tony Collette is in it for like 3 scenes.
Bradley Cooper, a real son of a bitch in that one.
Remember when he spills milk everywhere in Is This Thing On?
Yeah, and they're like, hey, don't cry over spilled milk. Did they say that? Did they make that joke? I can't remember.
They might make that joke. How is he attractive no matter how he looks? How is that possible?
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's in full on like what's the term? Like community actor mode who's never going to get anything real.
Yeah.
And like with the beard and everything and you're like, would.
Mike, is there any other big news items you want to talk about here? Like I said, we'll talk Bruce Cassidy. We're for the last week we were Vegas Golden Knights fans, so we will talk Bruce Cassidy when we get to our Vegas Golden Knights section.
No, I just wanted to put a bow on the Treiliving thing. It does, like, I'm not saying this is part of it, but imagine Toronto had to be extra pissed, the powers that be, seeing Kyle Dubas taking a team that we all expected was going to be rebuilding to the playoffs.
Yeah.
They probably don't like that.
No, that's probably not great. That might be part of it. That's a good point.
Mm-hmm.
Since I don't know if we're ever going to get another opportunity to talk about a couple of these things here, just a couple of other news items to hit. Mike, your beloved Sam Carrick injured his arm in a fight against Anders Lee.
Yeah, went down to the ice hard. Kind of got whipped down a little bit. He was in pain through his mouthpiece. I don't know why that stuck out to me. Yeah.
Can't win them all, you know?
Do you see how long he's expected to be out? Because I didn't see that.
No, they haven't announced it yet. The most recent update is Ruff saying it'll be evaluated tomorrow. And today is tomorrow, and it has yet to be evaluated, so we'll see.
He's still getting evaluated. It's a long evaluation.
Cale Makar's going to miss a few games.
He'll be back for the playoffs.
Yeah, he'll be back for the playoffs. And then the only other thing is Shesterkin and Markstrom get the goalie fight. It's the second goalie fight of the year, third goalie fight of the year. It's at least the second goalie fight of the year because there was the Vasilevsky
I realized why goalie fights stand out as so amazing in today's game. They're allowed to take their helmets off.
Well, you have to. I mean, imagine trying to punch someone's helmet off. Yeah.
Like in the NHL's attempt to curb fighting, that was one of the things. Like, you can't take your helmet off. It's going to be like another penalty on top of that. And so now plus to protect people from taking sticks to the eye socket, they were like, everybody's got to wear visors. So now players just have this very small, few inch window to try to hit right in the chin. It just makes fights that is exciting. But goalies like Markstrom and Shesterkin both just fucking slammed down that and started throwing haymakers. It's also fun because they got all them pads on. They look so fucking goofy swinging.
Yeah, it's like they're wearing those giant sumo suits that they would break out at field day at school. Yeah.
Now, see, I was impressed by Shesterkin because he did smart tactic. You know, you got a hold of Markstrom and he just did little from a distance, little jabs.
It's good video content for those of you listening to the audio of this podcast. JT Miller said when asked about it in the postgame interview, we needed that. There hasn't been, unfortunately, a lot to cheer about this year. To have a moment like that, it's really special. Brother,
put it in the
doesn't
rafters.
JT Miller's gonna be wearing a fucking different jersey next year, and he's
probably
just trying to play out the season. It's really special. Yeah, two sad sack teams that we probably are not going to mention on the podcast again for the rest of the year unless this becomes a thing where Markstrom and Shesterkin just fight every goalie they go up against. Like apparently Anders Lee, who's just fighting everyone these days.
Fuck
taking
Anders
out
Lee.
Sam Carrick. But
I get it, by the way.
What?
Like why? I mean, I knew that they were coming into the third. They were going once Anders Lee got on the ice and he ended up taking the opening faceoff. I knew. There's someone's going to fight him because of the Josh Norris thing.
Yeah.
It's just unfortunate that it led to someone who's been playing well for us after the trade deadline getting hurt, but I understand why it happened.
I just think it's been too many goalie fights this year. We don't need 3 a year. One every other year. Perfect amount of goalie fights.
More.
No.
Need more.
I think that from now on through the rest of the season, the shortest player on a team has to fight the tallest player on the team. I think that would be fun to see.
Dude, if I was a goalie, I would just start chirping the other one beginning of the game, just screaming across the ice. Hey! fuck you.
Like, why doesn't Swayman just do that, right? Like, you're not doing anything out there in net. You might as well just go fight every goalie.
Or better yet, you can just tell your players, like, hey, when you get near the goalie, tell him I said his mom's a skank, all right? Tell him I said that.
It would be a great tactic if you're an opposing goalie to start skating across the ice like you're going to fight, and then when the other guy takes his helmet off and drops his gloves, just skate back into your crease and go, oh,
What the fuck? I don't know.
he's got none of his equipment on. Delay of game. That's 2 minutes. Delay a game.
That's some NBA shit right there.
That's it. That's why if I was taller and more athletic and not a professional podcaster in a different life, I would have been an NBA player because I have NBA sensibilities.
Yeah.
If I was ever on the ice in a hockey game, my entire goal, I would just be going to the rest, being like, his shirt's untucked. Yeah, you gotta tell him to go back to the dressing room. His shirt's untucked.
Yeah.
I'd be the Chris Paul of hockey players.
You'd be the guy. Oh, they didn't. I don't think they passed that. During the meetings this year, there was a rule coming up for college football to address the length of their shorts, because some people have been getting a little crazy with it, and it was going to become like, if the pants aren't long enough, it's a penalty. So you'd have been that guy out there with like a tape measure.
I would be out there with measuring tape. Yeah.
Like, I don't know. It's not quite long enough there, bud.
All right, Mike. Let's not dilly-dally or delay any further.
Yeah. We're really pissing that guy off today.
that guy's steaming, Mike.
These motherfuckers.
What we are here to do today is to rank the playoff matchups if the season ended right now, and at the end we'll have some honorable mentions, I assume, for teams that could make it that are not currently in.
Oh, gotcha.
Some honorable mentions you thought I was going to be like, and the playoffs between Yannick Sinner and Rafael Nadal. But we're going to rank the playoff matchups as if the season was ending today. Now, Mike, I don't know how you particularly thought about this, but I thought about it two different ways. One, I kind of gave like an internal half bonus point to a series that I think is going to be back and forth, right? Like, series more likely to go game 7 or 7 games. I'm more interested in watching the series go 7 games than the series go 4, even if one of the teams in the sweep is a fun team to watch.
Right.
I also, the way I rank these is, in my head I asked, okay, if every single one of these teams was playing a game 3 at the same time, who was I most likely to tune into?
I did my process. It's like an amalgamation, if you will. Mm-hmm. I took into account
if you could spell that word for me, I'd appreciate it.
Amalgamation.
Mm-hmm.
I took mixed it all together. I took into account like competitive series that will go long, entertainment, matchup, storylines, stuff like that, like the face value ones when you see the two jerseys next to each other, what you first think of. Took all those things into account.
Okay. And I made
a spreadsheet.
You got physical notes going on for this one?
It felt like a physical note kind of day.
It did kind of feel like a physical note kind of day. I'll give you that.
Yeah.
You with your floppy legal pad. Mike, should we start at 8 and go to 1?
Sure.
Or should we start at 1, then go 4, then go 8 to 6, 2, 3, and then end with 5?
I'm going to say whatever you choose, it should be in order. 1 to 8 or 8 to 1. Those are my votes.
Okay. Let's go 8 to 1. Mike, what is your 8th or your most boringest playoff series?
Colorado versus Nashville.
Not a bad one. Surprising, but I assume the deciding factor here is just this one's going to be over and out. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't see Nashville putting up much of a fight. I'm shocked Nashville's even in this position, to be honest with you. And, I mean, I guess there's, like, a bit of a sick entertainment aspect just to see, like, Colorado beat up on a team. But other than that, I guess I don't have a lot of, like when these games are in Colorado, if I've been working all day and it's like games coming on at 10:30, I'm 10, whatever, I'm gonna be like, I'll make it through the first period.
I'll watch the highlights tomorrow.
Yeah.
So, I think that it is, some would say, very smart to put Nashville in the bottom slot. I did not. We'll get to mine here in a second. Would it affect your feelings at all if this switched out with the Kings or the Jets, or somehow the Preds and Mammoths swapped spots, which isn't going to happen, but, humor me for a second. Would any of that affect it? Is it just Nashville dragging this down, or is it like whoever they play in the first round, outside of some like insane San Jose Sharks finish or St. Louis Blues finish to the year, whoever they face in the first round is like, yeah, fuck that.
I mean, if it was the Sharks, that I'd be more interested in it, just because the Sharks are a very fun team to watch.
Mercadurk Selbany.
Macklin Celebrini is like kind of must-watch TV, so he definitely makes that worth watching. The Jets would be more interesting because it would just be like, how'd they get here, man? What happened? And then if you want to be fun, you could hope that like Connor Hellebuyck goes like God mode and like goalies them, but he's never goalied anybody in the playoffs before. But this could be the year. He's got that gold medal swagger.
Got that gold medal. It's swinging between his legs to stop all those pucks from going 5-hole.
Goddamn right.
Yeah, and also whoever manages to get that wild card 2 in the West is going to have a massively negative goal difference. So like they're not the important thing to remember about all these teams, Nashville, Los Angeles, Winnipeg, San Jose, Seattle, St. Louis, is that they're not good. So like no matter what, it's probably not going to be a competitive series. Just look for whatever's going to be like the most fun storyline for it, I guess. I have them on my list at 7. At 7.
Oh, okay.
At 7, Mike. At 8, I have Carolina Columbus.
That's my 7.
Yeah. I figured
7-8.
You have to do your hands upside down like a cat playing the piano.
7-8.
The reason I have Carolina Columbus at the bottom is because I don't like watching Carolina play hockey. We're also going to watch these two teams play each other 2 more times before the end of the season. We've seen it 2 times in the last month, so we're going to see 4 games of this before we get 6 games of this.
I saw it last night.
Yeah, saw it last night, and Columbus got fucking bodied. Columbus is being bodied by Carolina basically every game outside of the one we covered when we were Columbus Blue Jackets fans.
Yeah.
Now, there is some interesting stuff here that you could say. You'd be like, Zach Werenski, though. You get to watch Zach Werenski.
Greaves.
Yeah. Get to watch Mason Marchment. Although I think he might be. No, he was in the box last night. I was like, why did I just see him? That's because he was. I remember him in the penalty box last night. But you get to watch some players on this Columbus team that are likable. It's just, man, I'm fucking sick of this era of Hurricanes hockey. I don't want to watch it anymore. And you've been at the front of the parade of I don't want to watch the Hurricanes play anymore. But like I'm bringing up the caboose these days, Mike. I'm good.
Yeah.
We know how this is going to work. They're going to win this series in 5 games, and they're going to lose in the next round to, I don't know, the Islanders or something in 7 games. Yeah. And then we'll have to be like, wow, that's crazy. And then 4 months later, we'll be like, the preseason favorite to win the Cup this year is the Carolina Hurricanes. Mm-hmm. It's the
same every year.
It's an infinite loop. It's an infinite loop of the Carolina Hurricanes. This is their year, and they're going to lose in the second round to a team who's going to go on to lose in the third round or win the Cup.
Yeah. And Columbus, like the game we saw last night, is how I feel like that series would go. Of course, Columbus would win one. I don't think Carolina would slip up somehow, but I do think like last night's game is kind of indicative of how that would go. Carolina is just they're a very disciplined team. They make life harder on you. They're not going to give up a lot of shots. They're not going to just like let you get these like easy zone entries and set stuff up easily. They're tough. Like I don't like their goaltending. I don't even think has been like out of the world this year. They just help their goaltender so much with what they do in their own zone. That it makes Brandon Bussey look good.
He had a real bad game yesterday, despite the fact that he only gave up 2 goals. Yeah, and I think that also Columbus is pretty disciplined. They're another like hard-nosed, few shot attempts team. It's basically those 2 teams and Ottawa that play that style. Mm-hmm. And you know what? I just don't want to watch 2 of those teams play each other, Mike. Yeah. This series per game might lead the NHL playoffs in shots per game, shots on goal per game, and might be last place in high danger chances per game.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not an exciting matchup.
Mike, since we have our 8 and 7 off the board, who do you have at 6?
I went Anaheim, Utah.
Just because like none of these guys really have a shot at the the crown? Is that kind of your thinking there?
Like, I don't think of either teams notably highly in their chances to make some kind of run. Anaheim is fun to watch just because they like to play at a breakneck pace, and they got some exciting guys on that team. But even with that, like, they have been, what is it? So we looked at the other day. Yeah, they're like 8-0. They got like 8-0 in the shootout, you know? Like, they've been getting a lot of, like, those can't finish a game in 60 minutes points. They're not that good of an all-around hockey team. Like, I actually think I'd take Utah in a 7-game series here.
I think that's going to be a popped-up
between the
pick.
two.
Is people to take people to take Utah over probably whoever wins the Pacific, which looks like it's going to be Anaheim. And Joel Quenneville might end up winning Coach of the Year. He might end up in the Jack Adams conversation. But yeah, I just like I think that it's hard for me to rank that as low as you, although I don't have it much higher. But it's hard for me to rank it as low as you just because there's like a lot of fun youth in this game, which is always a good rooting point. It's like both these teams are a good mix of the olds and the youngs. And like Carl Vejmelka, you know, here's a guy that loves the goal. Carl Vejmelka. Mike, my 6. Pittsburgh versus New York Islanders. Now,
they're my 5th.
Yeah, my 5th is Anaheim versus Utah. I feel like we have very similar tiers here. Now here's the thing about Pittsburgh versus the Islanders. People are going to be screaming from the rooftops about Matty Shafes. You know, it's the Shafemeister General. He's out here chafing about doing things. Anders Lee's going to be fighting someone. Sid, the kid, on a last run that no one expected. The Stewart Skinner revenge series. Revenge against the whole league for not believing in him. Neither one of these teams is making it out of the second round, so I don't know how invested I really want to get in it. I love me some Matty Shafes, and I'll be rooting for the Islanders over the Penguins. But I don't know. I'm not going to get like emotionally invested in either one of these teams' runs. They're just not going that far.
Yeah,
like you could even talk to me into like a weird like, wait, what do you mean? Like Utah is playing in the conference championship? You couldn't do that to me with either Pittsburgh or New York.
Right. It's just it's a matchup of like a team that's very high in goal scoring and a team that's very good in not allowing goals clashing. And I also think it would be a pretty physical series. I could see a lot of fights in this one, especially with the way that the Islanders like to play. Matty Shafes, you got the young blood on one side. Sidney Crosby, you got the old blood on the other one. The old sheriff out for the last down. I'm doing, but so there's some storylines that make it fun. Like that's a series I would bet money. If someone said like over under amount of games and they set it at like 5.5, I'd hit the over. Say it goes at least 6.
Do I think? Yeah, I think I'm with you on that. When's the last time Pittsburgh played in a playoff series? Were they in the playoffs? No, they weren't in the playoffs last year.
They missed it.
Yeah. And I think
it would have been pre-Dubas.
I think the big storyline in this game also would have to be Sorokin. Like I think everyone is going to be giving Matty Shafes his flowers, and rightfully so. You know, he's a 20-goal scorer defenseman. As an 18-year-old, he's probably going to finish in the top 10 in Norris voting. But the Islanders like completely fucking fall apart without Sorokin, right? Like they can't play hockey games without Sorokin. Like even last night in that Buffalo game, like Sorokin was a fucking hero to keep them anywhere competitive in that game. And
absolutely.
Still, I mean, like 906, which is about par in the modern NHL, at least this season. But he was playing his little ass off, man. Like he was just having a great game because he heard Mike Regan was watching, and Mike Regan hates him, and that's why.
I said he should win the Vezina last week. What are you talking about? Does it worry you, if you're an Islanders fan, you look at this matchup, does it worry you that the Islanders are 21st in slap shot goals? That's not a real question. I just found out that NHL.com does that as a statistic you can look up.
I was about to say,
his goals based on shot type.
I think I'm taking the internet from you. So these two teams did face off a few days ago.
Yeah.
In an 8-3 win for the Pittsburgh Penguins.
Yeah, that's a sweep. It's going to be a sweep. I told you sweep.
In which they...
Sorokin wasn't playing, though, right?
No, Sorokin gave up 7 goals and then got pulled.
Jesus.
Or vice versa. I didn't watch the game, to be fair, so I'm not sure if Rittich or Sorokin started, but Sorokin gave up 7 goals. The Penguins have kind of been beating the piss out of people recently, too. By recently, I mean the last 2 games.
Yeah.
Did you watch any of that Red Wings game?
I did. I had it up there.
That was
they were up.
that was just,
I was like,
dude, that was embarrassing.
Yeah.
Like, did the Red Wings get off the plane for that one?
I don't know. I didn't save it. Someone posted a thing today that showed like the last 4 seasons, the Red Wings have just a terrible record in March. Like coming down the home stretch, they botch it every time. So I mean that's what bitch made teams do. bitch made teams botch. They do a bitch botch. All right.
Bitch botch. Mike, those cover our 6 and 5 teams. You want to give me your number 4 team? Your number 4 matchup?
This is tough.
Yeah, we're into these are all good matchups from here on out, I would say.
They're all good matchups. This may surprise you that I put them as low as I did, but Buffalo versus Boston.
Interesting. I thought you'd have that number 1.
I was trying to remove the homerism from this project.
Uh-huh.
Have some journalistic ethics. But yeah, I mean that's a great matchup. It's a history in that matchup, especially in the playoffs. I mean, not for a long time because we haven't been there in like 15 years, but still, not the point. Yeah, that's a great East Coast matchup. I think both of these teams are beating expectations going into the season. No one probably thought they'd be in this situation. Like people may have said, "Oh, Boston can be a wild card team," which they currently are, aren't they? Yeah, they are.
Sorry, say that one more time.
They are. They are a wild card team. But people would have probably said like they could make the wild card, but I don't think people would have expected maybe to be as in like 6 points safe the way they are.
I don't think they were expected to make the wild card.
Yeah. No, okay, you say no. Nobody out of Boston was saying that. Only people in Boston were like, we're making the wild card. Wild card 1.
Marcus Matt.
Pasta.
I assume that's how they finish all sentences. So bring up.
We got pasta and geeky. And obviously the Sabres, the way they've turned around and the way they've been playing. So I think this would be a fun matchup. I mean, it would only be 4 games, right?
I want to commend both Boston and Buffalo for not being loser point merchants, unlike a certain division that we will talk about later. Mm-hmm. But Boston's one of the hottest teams in the association right now.
Yeah.
They've won 4 straight, which has firmly planted them in that wild card 2 spot, including a really impressive win yesterday over the Stars.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I was because the Canadians have won 6 straight, so aren't they hotter than Boston technically?
I didn't say the hottest. I said one of the hottest.
Oh, I thought you said the number 1 de facto, no other answer hottest. That's what I heard. But all right.
Hey, can we give out a yearly award?
Yeah.
Called the Miko Zibanejad. Wait, that guy had a hat trick award for like a guy where you were watching a game and when the 3rd goal went in, you went, I don't remember the other 2 goals happening, but I guess he has a hat trick.
Is he like the next domino to fall there?
Miko Zibanejad?
Yeah, like not being
Adam
in a
Fox
Rangers
is the next
uniform
domino
much.
to fall.
Okay.
They're gonna flip Adam Fox they're gonna trade him to Calgary for like 11 first and Jonathan Huberdeau.
I think he has like a -5 team no trade list.
Yeah.
That means like he can veto all trades, plus he can make up 5 teams that don't exist. He also can't be traded there.
He can only be traded to MLB teams.
Yeah.
I had the Boston game on like the quad box on my TV, which I also had muted. So I had the Columbus game up on my computer and I was just watching that. But I had the Boston game up on my quad box. I looked over in the 3rd period, and Victor Arvidsson scored an empty netter, and I was like, okay, yeah, sure. And it was just on my TV, and the like game's counting down, rotating over, looking at it. Victor Arvidsson puts another empty netter in, and all the hats start raining down, and I'm like, wait, what? When was the first goal? Victor Arvidsson had a hat trick? So I would like to give Victor Arvidsson the yearly Mika Zibanejad. Wait, that was a hat trick award for guy I wasn't expecting to score a hat trick while I was watching, who ended up scoring a hat trick.
Congratulations. I'm happy for Victor. I'm always rooting for him. Yeah.
Yeah. Because his last name sounds like a bird, or because he played for Buffalo?
Never played for Buffalo.
Okay. I was just
it's the bird one, I guess. I guess it's the bird one.
Yeah, I think that you're selling that one a little bit short. I would say that this top 4, though, I don't know. For me personally, 3 of the top 4 is in like a tier, and then number 1 stands alone.
Yeah.
Although you and I are gonna have a different number 1, I can almost guarantee.
I think so.
Yeah. So, but 4, 3, and 2 to me are all like those are appointment television for me. So at 4, I have Tampa Bay versus Montreal.
Wow.
I totally get it. Montreal's super fun. Tampa Bay, awesome. More Kucherov. Got to mention him as the first Tampa Bay player because we always forget to mention him. I'm obviously a big Darren Radis guy. There's a chance that Vasilevsky wins the Vezina. Tampa's a little bit been there, done that for me. Like, my first years watching hockey were during the Tampa Bay dominance. So, like, some of the veneer has worn off, some of the shine. I do love Darren Radis at 30, saying, what if I just turn into a all-NHL level player? I love Kucherov still somehow at 26 years old, potentially winning the Hart. This Montreal team also, it's like, okay, yeah, I like Montreal, but it doesn't have, like, the superstar quality that the other matchups do, which is why it ended up dropping a little bit low.
Nick Suzuki, Cole Caulfield?
Yeah, exactly. The superstars we talk about from Montreal are Nick Suzuki and Cole Caulfield.
Dude. I have this matchup, too.
Really?
Yeah,
it's a great jersey matchup. Great jersey matchup.
Great jersey matchup. I think it'll be. I think it's a series that will get some bad blood of brewing. It will get physical. I like the aspect of the old dudes who've done it against the hot young up and coming team.
I wonder if part of my discounting on this is just Jake Gunsel.
You just hate Jake Gunsel?
Just hate Jake Gunsel.
Yeah,
if he wasn't there in Milan, we would have won 2 gold medals.
Yeah, doubled up.
Yeah. Well, Mike, if I'll tell you, I have Buffalo Boston at 3. So
okay, jump to your 2 then, because my 2 is Tampa Bay versus Montreal.
Well, then give me your 3, Mike.
Oh, my 3 is Edmonton, Vegas.
Okay, so that I think is pretty chalk on about where this is coming in.
Mm-hmm.
This like there's 2 routes that this series can go, right? Like, either we get like healthy Draisaitl, Connor McDavid, weirdly Tristan Jarry gets hot, or they just want to put a trash can in front of the net and hope that can do the work. Maybe they'll just do that.
Yeah.
But this could go like all gas, no brakes on the Edmonton side, and then Vegas just playing like classic John Tortorella style. Like, we're just gonna lock him down. We're gonna send Nick Dowd over the wall. We're gonna call him the wrong name. We have a checking line going against McDavid for the first 3-4 shifts just to show him the lumber, and we'll worry about the goaltending later. Just Jack Eichel in like Selke form, Mitch Marner in Selke form, Mark Stone in Selke form, just shutting shit down. Or these teams could continue to be a disaster, and the games will fluctuate wildly. Like, it'll be like, if this series goes the way the season had, like the narratives will be so good because the first game's gonna be like a 7-2 win for Edmonton, and the second game they're gonna lose 1-0, and it's gonna be incredible to watch just the rubbernecking we have to do to talk about these games after each one and pretend there's a larger picture here instead of just the Pacific's on fire and we're pretending it's not.
Right. I mean, because of like it's Vegas and Edmonton. So like jersey name value right there, like, whoa, big matchup. You look at the season, you're like, oh, there's a world where this series is actually ugly and sucks.
Yeah.
So that's what like knocked it down my list some. But also, like Connor McDavid and Jack Eichel on the ice at the same time. Yeah, I'll probably watch that. That sounds pretty good. I want to watch that.
You know what both those guys have in common?
They what?
Neither one of them plays for Buffalo, despite the fact that you almost got both of them, or you got either one of them. I guess. Isn't that weird? Does that hurt less now?
That should be the end of it. I should slam my computer shut.
Does that hurt less now that your team's better than both those teams?
Nope, still hurts, Adam.
I don't want to get too far into it, but we did get a preview of this matchup a few nights ago.
Yeah.
With an overtime Edmonton win over Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
Mark Stone show in the playoffs, you know? Do you think if we get a goalie fight between Akira Schmid and Tristan Jarry, either one of them would land a single punch?
I don't think so. I think they'd all be. They tend to let things slide by them. So
Yeah, exactly.
I could probably do that.
It'd be a really evasive fight. We'd be like, oh, that makes sense. Like, these guys just duck and dodge. They don't ever land any blows.
Mm-hmm.
Edmonton won the season series against Vegas 3-0.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they have one more game coming up in a few days here to close out the season, but they won it 3-0 with a total goal differential of Edmonton +4 across 3 games.
Damn.
Scoring 4 goals in every game. So maybe this is going to be a very consistent series in an Edmonton sweep, but we'll see when we get there.
That's funny because in my head, when I was like, "There's a world where the series isn't good." In that world, it was Edmonton, like winning in 5 games, and Vegas, like not looking competitive against them. I don't know why, but that's what my brain saw.
If I was Edmonton, I'd get ahead of it right now and fire my GM so that we can really turn around the goaltending in time for the playoffs.
Oh, you can get a jump and hire Brad Treliving. Nice. You can do a sign and trade and send McDavid somewhere.
Yeah, I was going to say, bring him in. He goes, we're trading Draisaitl to Calgary for Jonathan Huberdeau.
I still believe in that kid.
We're all laughing now, but when Treiliving trades for Kucherov in 6 years, who's going to look dumb then, Mike?
Yeah.
Who's going to look dumb then? Mike, so Tampa Bay, Montreal's your 2. Mm-hmm. My 3 was Buffalo, Boston. My 2, Minnesota versus Dallas.
Who's your 1? I'm so confused.
Edmonton, Vegas is my 1.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Edmonton, Vegas is your 1. Yeah, Dallas, Minnesota was my 1.
Yeah, which yours makes sense in the conventional. These games will be good because these hockey teams are good. Sense, of course.
Yeah, crazy way to judge it, you know.
But mine makes sense because it's pure and unadulterated chaos, and those games are going to start at 10 o'clock, and I am going to fall asleep watching them every single night. But let's talk Minnesota Dallas, Mike. Let's talk Minnesota Dallas here.
Mm-hmm.
If you were, as you mentioned before, setting a line for how many games the series goes, where would you set it at?
Well, my first thought was 5.5, but maybe 6.5.
It's terrible. Never set a line at 6.5. Everyone's going to bet under that.
Yeah, it's true. So yeah, it definitely be 5.5.
I'm setting mine at 3.5, Mike.
Think one team's going to get up 3-0 and the other's just going to quit.
Yeah, that's my plan.
You got it. You're up.
All right, fine. We're not coming back in this one.
This could be a real like muscle flex series for Dallas, because I do think there's a world where Dallas comes in and wins the series in 5 and like flexes some muscle, and we're all gonna be like, "Oh shit, Dallas winning the cup," and then they lose to Colorado in the finals.
Yeah, this is whoever's gonna get teed up to lose to Colorado in 6 games in the next next series, right? Colorado's gonna be so fucking rested too.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm just saying. Listen, at one point, we were all in on can Dallas challenge Colorado. Dallas is losing a lot of games recently, Mike.
Yeah,
they've lost
these teams
6 of their last 7.
Great.
Yeah.
Jesus.
They've lost 6 of their last 7, including losses to the Wild, Vegas, New York, or New Jersey Devils, the Islanders, the Flyers, and the Bruins. Their only wins are over the Avalanche, of course, and the Penguins.
Yeah, and but in a playoff series, what goaltending are you trusting more between the two teams?
Minnesota. Like, I get it. I know.
Really?
Minnesota's got a better room than Dallas.
Yeah. But, I mean, big game Binnington.
Who's big game Binnington play for?
I meant big game Ottinger.
There you go.
I got it mixed up. I got my Jakes mixed up, even though I don't think it's not Jake Binnington, so I don't know why.
It's also
Jordan.
It's Jordan Binnington. So, I get it. I get it with Ottinger. Like, Ottinger is a very good goalie, and I would not take anything away from him. But weirdly enough, like Philip Gustafsson and Jesper Wallstedt, although Wallstedt's fallen off in the second half of the season, they're right there in the conversation for like tier 2 goalie ones. Like I don't think any of those 3 goalies we just mentioned are ever going to win like a Vezina. I mean, it's goaltending, so they might win the next 6 of them. But I would put them below the Russians and the Connor Hellebuck, and probably at this point Logan Thompson, because he's done it enough years in a row to where I'm ready to announce that Logan Thompson's in that top tier of goaltending.
Yeah, and Spencer Knight.
But I would put them above just about any goalie that Edmonton's ever been in the room with. So,
yeah, that's fair. I would agree with that.
Yeah, so like there's not like a massive goalie bonus here, or benefit one way or another, but just like skater wise, like Dallas should be able to run Minnesota out of the building. I don't know, the rink.
See, it doesn't feel like it's that big of a difference to me, but when I look at the rosters, I feel like Dallas, it's like they just got like that one more forward, and they got like that one more defenseman that Minnesota's roster has.
Yeah, and like it sucks because if you're Minnesota, you're saying, well, in most series we'll have the best scoring forward in Kirill the Thrill, and we'll have the best all-around defenseman in Quinn Hughes. And then you go up against fucking Dallas, and like I get it, like Quinn Hughes, but like I'm not totally kicking Miro Heiskanen out of that conversation. And obviously, when you're talking about forwards, like if you still want to say Kirill Kaprizov is the best forward, which I don't know about that in this matchup, there's a fucking murderer's row of stars who are near the conversation with Kirill Kaprizov. So it probably, like, if it does go 7, I almost feel like you have to pat Minnesota on the back, but no one's going to be saying that because if you lose in the first round of the playoffs after trading everything for Quinn Hughes, it still kind of feels like you lost, you know?
Yeah.
All right, deep thoughts from Mike on the series. You got any other thoughts on this series or any of the other playoff series that you had written down on your notepad?
Yeah, I think we covered them. I feel less good about my one now.
Why? Because I told you how much it sucks and you're an idiot?
Yeah, it feels like I guess like this series is going 7 or it's going like Dallas is going to walk them.
Yeah.
Those are like the 2 outcomes. So
Mike, it's not too late to come to the good side of the force, you know? You're the chosen one. You can pick Edmonton Vegas as your best playoff round 1 series.
If we set that line at 5.5, I think I take the under.
Really?
Yeah.
You think that series goes 5, but are you willing to put on paper who you think wins?
I hate to say it, but I don't know. Torts is 1-0 as head coach, so maybe we should watch out.
Second best start for a head coach in Vegas history.
I mean, it was a pretty good draw that he got Vancouver first game, but still.
We'll definitely talk about that in a little bit, but I at one point when I didn't catch the Vancouver game live, so I was rewatching it today. And at one point partway through it, I was watching and I was like, man, Vegas looks really good. Tort's got them going. And I started to like write down notes about like maybe Tortorella's got something here. And I was like, they're playing Vancouver, Adam. What are you doing?
Just wait till their next game. Which I think
there's 1.5 hockey players on Vancouver. Mike, let's do some honorable mentions here.
Okay.
If Ottawa, Detroit, Philadelphia, or Washington, which are all still somehow in sniffing range of that wild card 2 spot, managed to leap in and make the playoffs there over Columbus, that would change Carolina to be one of those teams. Would any of those matchups get your juices flowing more than Columbus, Carolina?
Not really, because it's still against Carolina. I don't think any of those teams could really challenge them in a 7-game series.
What if Buffalo jumps Carolina and is the overall 1 seed? Who would be the most fun team to watch them play in the wild card 2 spot? Columbus, Ottawa, Detroit, Philly, or Washington?
I think Ottawa for sure.
I think Detroit's got the really good storyline, but if it's Ottawa, I mean, obviously, like I think that Columbus, Buffalo would be like the best good vibes of all time. Terrible jersey matchup, too much blue.
Oh yeah.
Buffalo, Detroit has all the fun of these are the 2 teams with the playoff droughts, breaking their playoff droughts against each other. And Buffalo, Washington would be the only way we get 2 good teams playing in these spots. So,
yeah.
Well, I think we can all agree as a community We just don't want Buffalo, Philadelphia, or Carolina, Philadelphia. Those instantly like drop both those matchups down a few ranks at the very least.
I mean, Buffalo, Philadelphia have had their battles in the past. If you go from like a historical standpoint, based off in the Stanley Cup way back in the day.
Is it like, are you just trying to like Zegers pill me? You want me to believe that this is a fun Philly team to watch play?
No, I believe the last time we were in the playoffs, we got eliminated in the first round by Philadelphia.
Wow.
So that'd be a real full circle moment.
Yeah. Just like when Adam Fox gets traded back to Calgary.
Yeah.
We already kind of touched on this, but in the West, there's a chance that the Kings, Jets, Sharks, or Kraken can still make it. The Blues have like an outside chance, but I'm not holding my breath.
No.
The only team that we would even remotely humor the idea of being like, well, now we have to reevaluate our rankings would be if San Jose makes that wild card 2 slot, right?
San Jose or Winnipeg.
Just because of the chance of goalie and someone.
Yeah, like, holy shit, they got here? That's crazy. It's wild.
How many games into that first round series would it be before you realized Winnipeg was in the playoffs?
Probably like the fourth one when they got swept.
Yeah.
Like, Colorado was playing Winnipeg this whole time? What?
I would be like, I'd be watching the third game and I would be like, wait a minute.
Right.
Why are the Nashville jerseys that color?
Yeah.
Any other honorable mentions you want to throw out there, Mike? Any other thoughts you have that you had written down that we didn't get to?
I mean, like, the thing with the Kings, it's like, yeah, it's Kopitar's last ride, but, like, they're just, every time I watch them, I'm not enjoying it.
They're, like, I hate this term because it's such a buzz word that people love to use in hockey, but there's, like, literally no identity with the Kings.
No.
It's like, what do you guys do? Well, we're not going to be, like, a super sound defensive team. Also, our goaltending is not great, and we're not, like, the best offensive force on the face of the planet.
Yeah.
And we traded for our Timmy Panarin, and we have Kevin Fiala still hanging around. It's like, okay, wait, so what do you guys do? It's like mediocrity. What we do is mediocrity. That's our identity.
We try to make the playoffs. That's about it.
They're also screwed in the playoffs because, once again, shootout merchants, 4-8 in the shootout.
Yeah. It's unfortunate that they can't somehow get up to third in the Pacific so we could see them play Edmonton again. That's the real tragedy here. Man. You know, now I'm kind of rooting for them to make it, to move on to the next round. Get Edmonton, LA. Great.
All right, Mike, speaking of the Pacific, for the last 7 calendar days, we have been fans of the Vegas Golden Knights as team talent alone. In that stretch, they went 1-2, but managed to gain a total of 4 points because they are overtime. They are loser point merchants to the extreme.
Mm-hmm.
They win over Vancouver in Tortorella's first game. They have an overtime loss to Edmonton. They lose in a shootout against Washington. But, of course, the big news this week coming out of Vegas is that Jack Eichel got a haircut recently, Mike. And a lot of people are saying,
ooh,
makes him look more like a human being. So, Mike, any thoughts on Jack Eichel's haircut?
Doesn't look like a Cabbage Patch Kid anymore.
Yeah. Obviously, the big news coming out. Bruce Cassidy is fired with 8 games remaining in the season. Vegas is a team who has historically been very aggressive in terms of moving people out before they are maybe at their expiration date. But this one, in fact, the more I've read into it, seems like it's been simmering for a little bit. Seems like it's been lingering around. Elliot Friedman of the soon-to-be 33 Thoughts podcast, when we had a team to, I don't know, Charlotte. Oh, there's already a team in Charlotte. Fuck. Fuck. We had a team to Miami.
Well, no.
A third Florida team.
The Hurricanes are in Raleigh.
Oh, shit. So we can add a team to Charlotte. There you go.
Yeah.
It's just got to be in the south of the United States. That's the only place players want to play.
Georgia. Well, they already
Mexico.
had one there. It didn't work. Never mind.
I'd one to Mexico. But, I'm just kidding. Obviously, NHL players would never go to Mexico. They're too Trump-coded. Apparently, like, Elliot Friedman was saying that the issues, the disconnect between Bruce Cassidy and the team stems back to last year's playoff loss to the Edmonton Oilers, where apparently Bruce Cassidy had some very tense conversations with select players, and kind of seems like he lost the room during that playoff series and never won it back. And there's been issues all year because of that. if you ask me, Mike, he simply got fired because of goaltending. But no one wants to hear that because that's not a fun narrative.
So that's my thing, is like, on paper this is so weird. When you look at how the team is playing, it just all the numbers come out to like, this team just has terrible goaltending. And terrible goaltending, and they got guys with poor shooting percentages right now. And that's what's killing them. So why do you get rid of the coach if like they're doing things right on the ice, just not getting the bounces and, don't have good goaltending? So that's why it makes sense to be like, he just kind of lost the room. And so they felt like it'd be best to move on to someone else. That's like the only reason it makes sense to me. Because everything else, I mean, I got stats written down out the ass here about all the things they do well. So I won't rattle them all off on you, but I mean, there's so many statistics where they're in the top 10, if not higher, in things. I mean, I texted you about the shots on goal per game, top 10, second in the league in shots on goal against. So they're doing that good. All right. Yeah. Like, they're sixth in high danger chances. They're doing that good. Top 10 in, I don't know what that one means. Not important, though. Too many notes.
All that matters is they're top 10 in it, God damn it.
Yeah, like, all these numbers come back so good, and then you go to the bad, and it's like the save percentage is dog shit. The goals allowed in the first and third period, or first and second period, is dog shit, which is why they're such a good team scoring in the third period, because they're desperately trying to make a fucking comeback to get to overtime, because they can't, keep a puck out of the net. Like, it always points to that. Their shooting percentage, like I said, is bad. And I feel like when I watch them play, like, that's what I see. I see a team that does a lot of the right things. It just doesn't go their way.
Yeah, so, I mean, just to kind of round up everything that you said there, in all situations, I promise this will be the only stat vomit I do during the segment. In all situations, they're 5th in expected goals and 14th in actual goals.
Yeah. So
I mean, like, some of it's bad luck, and some of it's goaltending, just like we said. And shooting percentages, I know that there's, people are like, no, it's, technique, and I'm sure there's some aspect to that, but, like, also sometimes it's just, hockey is a very random sport where the puck can come off your stick in 6,000 ways, and you go through a slump, and we like to think that 82 games is a big sample size, but really it's not. Like, over the course of 3 seasons, when a team plays, what is that, 164, 240-something games? 220-something games?
246.
Yeah, that's not right, but close enough.
82 times 3?
Yeah, that's not right. But
246. No, that's right.
No, that's not right. Like, that's when you get to a good sample size. But, like, in one season, like, the team's slumping because of goaltending and bad luck. And you don't really want that to be the reason. Like, it seems like the Rasmus Anderson trade hasn't worked out great. He hasn't been very impactful. It seems like the Mitch Marner signing hasn't worked out great because, like, as an offensive piece, he hasn't been very impactful, but he's been very good defensively. Same thing with Eichel. Eichel's having a down offensive year, but a very good defensive year. And, like, there's a chance that Torella comes in and players are a little bit more motivated, and so they're skating harder, and the team just kind of, like, clicks into place and things start going the right way, and they can buy a save for the first time this season, and suddenly they're in the Cup final. And we're like, torts. But also, like, the underlying numbers were good the entire time. The team looked good on eye test the entire time. Like, I was watching the Edmonton game specifically, and Vegas was, like, they looked better than Edmonton for 2 periods.
Yeah.
And then Edmonton inexplicably won the game. And that's the Vegas Golden Knights story this year. And that led to why now John Tortorella is calling Nick Dowd by the wrong name and sending him over the boards in a win over Vancouver. You see the story?
I mean, when you... like, the last, like, number I'll vomit on you guys is, like, they're 30th in goals against above expected, 21.22. For people who are wondering, what does that mean? That means the nerds shoved everything into their little calculators and they said, Vegas is letting in 21.22 more goals than they should. It's bad goaltending. They're doing so many things right. And they're getting PDO'd up the ass.
Right up the pooper.
We talk about teams. People like to talk about teams who with PDO luck, and you're like, look how high that PDO is. They're actually dog shit. They're going to regress down to the mean. This is the opposite. It's a team who's like, man, this PDO is killing them. And and they have to eventually move back up in the world. But I don't know if they will. And like I said, I totally understand if the thought process was like Bruce Cassidy lost the room. We got to make a move.
Maybe he did, and it wasn't even like because obviously, like if you work in an NHL front office, you're smart. Like it's fun to make fun of. It's fun to make fun of like, Brad Treliving or Brendan Shanahan or name your Toronto Maple Leafs former president of hockey operations. It's fun to make fun of those guys, but at the end of the day, those guys know puck. So it's not like they're showing up and being like, the team's losing, and we're not going to look at any numbers whatsoever to make any decisions on the future of the team. We're just going to can Bruce Cassidy. So part of me has to assume that they're like, yeah, there's been bad luck, but we see what Bruce Cassidy's doing, and we've talked with the players, and we think it's time for him to go, which would totally make sense. But in the off chance, in the off chance, I didn't know which one of us was going to go. In the off chance that they literally just were like, ugh, we're losing too many games, fire the coach. This is a really dumb decision. If that was the only calculus that went into it.
Yeah. I was like, because there's a world where it's like, like that nerd on Talent Alone, Mike, just threw all these numbers at us. But really, when we look at it, we think it's seems like just bad luck or not getting bounces. But really, we don't think we're going to get those bounces with the current environment going on in the locker room around this team. And I get that. That's the reason, okay, go for it. I still, like, under my category, literally just says torts,
Yeah, let's get into that, because that's a whole different conversation there too. The last point I did want to make on this too is any of this goaltending just bad karma? Because they get rid of Logan Thompson and they trade for Carter Hart coming off of his Hockey Canada sexual assault allegation scandal, and Carter Hart's fucking terrible, and then gets hurt. Yeah. Is this just bad karma? I don't know.
It could be. I didn't even think of that.
Aiden Hill's been atrocious too, but
yeah.
Let's talk about the torts thing of it. Why torts?
Because the NHL is still a boys' club.
Yeah, there's. I just want to shout outs to Andrew Burnett. You're the only guy that broke through, and now you have a job for life. You're going to get fired from Nashville, and just immediately they're going to be like, in Vancouver, they're going to be like, I don't know. Maybe he got a bad shake there. I think we should bring him in and hire him for 2 years.
Yeah. I mean,
like, the top 3 coaching candidates this year are going to be former Vegas Golden Knights coaches who just get a job whenever they want. It's going to be Gerard Gallant, Peter DeBoer, and Bruce Cassidy are going to be the top 3 coaching candidates. All of which, like, how many different places have those guys coached in at this point? Combined?
Cassidy's still relatively young, so I think he's only had a few teams.
I think he's only
like
coached
2 or 3.
I think he's only coached the Bruins and the Knights, but he coached the Bruins for like a chunk of time.
Yeah.
But those 3 guys together have probably coached 16 NHL teams at this point, it feels like.
He's still relatively young. He's 60. Whoops.
But the Tortorella
he's coached 3 teams.
Hiring, it really feels like they fired Cassidy and they went, someone call someone whose number's in your phone.
Yeah.
Like, was there even an interview process?
I don't know. I just don't know if it's like, we got bad vibes in this locker room. Let's bring in a dude who's like can be an ornery dick. It's gonna help things out. What?
Now, Torts does, like, when he goes in somewhere, they do like see a bump pretty immediately. It's just that a year and a half later, everyone fucking hates him and they want him gone that second. Like, the only place he really stuck around at for a while was Columbus, right?
Well, he had his long run in Tampa Bay, and that's where he won his Stanley Cup the year before the lockout.
Yeah, that's before my hockey tenure.
Yeah, that's why the lockout happened. It's because they were like, teams in fucking Florida are winning hockey Stanley Cups. We're done.
Yeah. People don't know this, but every single year for the last 5 years, Montreal's been trying to just force a lockout.
Yeah.
We got to stop these teams from winning in Florida.
This is ridiculous. But yeah, so he had that run there, eventually got canned. He was in New York for 5 years where they made the conference finals once. But yeah, that's like part of my thing is like, what's like the recent reason to think this would work? So like, had the one season in Vancouver, disastrous, gets canned. There was like drama about that in the headlines. And then he has that run with Columbus where, and I feel like this is the thing with him, is like he gets at least this portion, like in this part of his career, is like you get that bump, and then once expectations reach a certain point, he kind of sits on his balls. Because he made the playoffs 4 times in Columbus. Shit, 2016-17, they had 108 points, and he won the Jack Adams. And then a couple years later is when they got the big upset in the first round over Tampa Bay that year.
Yeah.
They swept them. And the next year, like, it's just such a, like, that 108, the one year it just declined from there, 97, 98, 81. But they kept making the playoffs. And then things went bad his last year there, and he got canned 56 games into the season, and they were 18, 26, and 12. Then Philly was like kind of a similar thing. They never made the playoffs, but in year 2 they get a bump. They get 12 more points on the season. They end up only 4 points out of the playoffs, and so it's like, all right, Torts is building something here in Philly. He got canned shortly. Coached 73 games and got canned. They finished with 65 points to completely miss the playoffs. So my thing is, if Torts is a guy who recently, once a team hit the point of expectations, couldn't get it done, then, like, why are you going to take him to a team that's literally built for expectations and to win a Stanley Cup?
Yeah, and I mean, also, I think that lays out a great case of what they were probably saying in that office, right? Mm-hmm. When they decided to go with him. But what were the other potential candidates even?
I mean, it's tough to say because they went ahead and just immediately hired one. Like, they didn't even take this to the offseason or later on down the line and interview more candidates. They were just, like, immediately like, yeah, Torts is the guy. Hockey's the only sport where I see this. Where literally during the season, they will bring in someone who was not already on the payroll and hire them to be the new head coach.
Which we had that happen twice this year, right? It was Rick Bowness in Columbus and Torts in Vegas.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like, well, it's a TBD because right now we only have the one game with Torts, and it was the what I'm now dubbing the Nick Dowd game. Or what do you think he was calling Nick Dowd? Because it didn't say in any of the Nick Dude.
Yeah.
I like the idea that he was just calling him like a different player's name though.
Yeah.
He's like, get out of there, Jack Eichel. I mean, he keeps. Whatever, it's fine.
He's talking to Aiden Hill and all of his goalie gear. What?
So TBD. I think is their next game against Edmonton? No, they have another game before then. Let me see.
Yeah, they have one more before then. It is tomorrow against the Flames. At home.
Ooh.
Or wait, is that away?
The bottom team would be the away team. Yeah. Well, there you go. So we'll keep up on them, obviously, until they play a good team. It's hard to judge how much of a culture change there is. They looked like they were playing harder last night, so we can kind of get into our good, bad, and sorry, I almost gave away that I stole the segment from the Athletic Daily NBA podcast on their Saturday episode. By calling it the wrong name. But now people will never know because I'm going to call it by the right name. Our good, bad, and what? Talking about the Vegas Golden Knights? What? Huh?
Yeah. I basically went through all my good, bad, and in my rant. Yeah. So I'll let you take over here. I just want to say, to put a cap on my long-winded comments about Torts, I like John Tortorella. I wish he would just go back to doing something in the studio because he, is kind of like that ornery old hockey coach. And so I think he's a fun personality. I just don't know how it's going to work in an NHL locker room in the year 2026, but we'll find out. Back to you, Adam.
I have no strong thoughts about Tortorella, if I'm being honest with you. Is that didn't do anything for you? Or?
What if I told you his name kind of sounds like Tortellini?
It does kind of sound like Tortellini.
Your opinion.
If his name was John Spaghetti, I think I'd be a lot more in.
How is he not coached pasta yet? It's match made in heaven. We got Tortellini, we got pasta.
Just got to get a couple of other things on there, and you got a stew going, baby.
Mm-hmm.
Mike, my bad. Aiden Hill.
Yeah, that's fair.
We got a rare Aiden Hill triple feature. We got a single goalie triple feature in our time watching this team. All 3 games were goalied by Aiden Hill. So we got a lot of Aiden Hill, buddy. And what I saw, not too great. Not too great. He had an 8-10 in one game, an 8-62, and then against Vancouver, a 9-17. But if you just take those first two games, he averaged out to like an 840 goals or save percentage. He was not good in the shootout against Washington, and overall in the season has been. I got a little bit of a bold take here, Mike. And I don't know if you're going to agree with me on this. This entire season, I think Aiden Hill has been worse than Logan Thompson.
I think that's very fair to say.
Yeah.
It makes me wonder, like, when the playoffs start, are you like, Aiden Hill's been here, he's done it before, he's won a cup, so we're going to go with Hill? Or you're like, well, we've won more games with Akira Schmid, so we should probably go with him.
Yeah, who plays Game 7?
That could be, the answer to that question could be talked about all offseason.
Yeah, I think you just go with Schmid, but Schmidt's been bad in the playoffs before, like when he was in Carolina.
Was it Skinner who finally sunk Woodcroft going into Game 7? He opted to start Skinner.
That might have been it. That sounds right.
I think that's what it was. Yeah. Maybe it was something I remember.
If I can also give just one more additional shout, my was also Tortorella, so we can.
It was an interesting choice.
One more shout out to Mitch Marner and Jack Eichel, who are just like elite forward defenders who don't get enough credit for it. By the way, Mitch Marner,
their hardest.
Dog shit. This guy's the worst player in hockey. Terrible signing. Wasn't worth the cost of the ticket to get him to fly out to Vegas. Currently has a plus 50 goal differential on the season and 71 points in 74 games.
Who? Mitch Marner?
Mitch Marner.
No, that can't be it because he's the reason Toronto loses every game. Even now that he's not there, it's all his fault.
Dog shit Marner, as we call him around these parts.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mike, that's all I got. It was a weird week to watch Vegas. I have a slight inclination to say we should just extend it one more time, get another Edmonton game in there, really learn this team, learn them good. But Mike, I'm going to go ahead and let you make the decision on what we're doing for Team Talent Alone for the next week as we close out the pod.
Recommendations.
You want some recommendations, or you got some recommendations?
Yeah. No, give me some recommendations.
So I pretty firmly think that the way to go is to either stay on the playoff bubble in the East or stay in the Pacific. So I would say we go Edmonton, Islanders, Boston, or the Penguins.
Penguins.
The Penguins.
Penguins. Boston. I don't know. I guess have our last two teams been West?
What's up? Say that again.
No, just our last team was West Coast. The two before that were both East.
Yeah, because
Columbus, right? And Ottawa.
Ottawa.
Okay.
Oh, I got bad news for you, Mike. I was going to go look up the schedule for some of the teams that I was suggesting there, and I did get a notification on my my browser that says Florence Pugh goes Instagram official with boyfriend Finn Cole.
Damn it. That's why she won't return my calls.
I keep calling 1-800-Florence.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's the Bruins schedule.
All right.
That we at Talent Alone would be covering. We would get them at the Panthers, at the Lightning, at the Flyers, and at the Hurricanes. So they'd be playing 3 playoff teams there. So 2 playoff teams, the Flyers, which are our fringe playoff team, and the Panthers, which we all know are stinky poo-poo.
Well, you know what? This has another good connection for me, because if this ends up being Buffalo's actual first round playoff matchup, it's some good time to scout.
Yeah. Send your notes over to Lindy.
Yeah, I'll let Lindy know. Me and him are tight. I call 1-800 Lindy. He picks up every time.
He hasn't gone Instagram official. If we do Edmonton, we get the Blackhawks, the Knights, and the Mammoth.
Yeah.
me pull up the Islanders, and then we can just make our ultimate decision here.
Mm-hmm.
Islanders. We get the Flyers. Are all these teams playing the Flyers? Should we just do the Flyers? We got the Flyers, the Hurricanes, and that's it. So definitely not them because we only get 2 games.
Okay. Well, Boston's like safely in.
Yeah.
So we're not doing the Flyers, you said?
No, we can do the Flyers. I'm fine with the Flyers.
How many games do they have?
I'm pulling them up right now, Mike. Fucking calm your tits off. Are they off, Mike?
Yeah, it fell right off.
He calmed them right off. Tomorrow, the Flyers play the Wings, the Islanders. They don't play the Islanders tomorrow. I'm just reading them in order. The Wings, the Islanders, the Bruins, and the Devils would be who we cover with the Flyers.
That's not bad. You can check in on post-Anaheim Trevor Zegras, see how he's doing. He's having a pretty good year.
The answer is good. I would say we either go Boston or Philly. So it's dealer's choice between those two, Mike.
Because the Flyers games are going to have a little bit more impact on the playoff race. Going Flyers.
Flyers it is. So for the next 7 days, we'd be fans of the Philadelphia Flyers. Flyers fans at home, you have 2 things to look forward to. Either A, like with Ottawa and Columbus, they will go on a run where they will not allow any goals, and suddenly their goaltending will look fine, unlike Linus Ullmark, who had one of the worst games I've ever seen the other night, the second we stopped being Ottawa fans.
Hey, former Vezina winner, Linus Ullmark.
Former Vezina winner, Linus Ullmark, which goes to show you two at home could win the Vezina one day.
Yep.
So you have that to look forward to, or maybe your coach is going to get fired. One of those 2 things is going to happen to the Flyers this week. Mike, did you have any final thoughts?
No.
Let me do one more news check on the way out the door here so that we don't find out that the Flyers coach has already been fired. It's Rick Tocchet, right? I actually don't remember off the top of my head. I think it's Rick Tocchet.
I think it might be Rick Tocchet after he left
Vancouver.
the old Vancouver. Yes, he is.
Yeah.
Hey,
All right. I'm not seeing any news here, so that's all we got. So we'll be back next Wednesday in person to cover Rick Tocchet getting fired.
Oh, yeah.
Mike, do you have any plugs on the way out the door?
The usual.
Look what I can do with my fingers. I think this is cool.
That's pretty cool. I'm going to plug that. Everybody tune in and see what Adam's doing with his fingers.
It's pretty cool. It looks like a snake.
Town Alone. YouTube, Town Alone. See what he's doing with his fingers and ring the bell.
Don't ring the bell!
I thought I could slide
But as
it in
Mike
there.
said
You
there,
wouldn't notice.
if you're listening to the audio version of this, you can check us out on YouTube at Talent Alone Podcast, where you can subscribe and comment and tell us how much time we wasted in the first 5 minutes talking about whatever we talked about at the time. You can check out our live streams at Talent Alone Stream. We'll be streaming tomorrow, hopefully finishing up Silent Hill F. And we'll be back here on Monday with Mike being all sweepy after his flight to talk about football. And on Wednesday with some more hockey talk. With that, Mike, since we don't do shout-outs on this, would you care to guess how many games Sam Carrick has played in his career?
Can I get an over-under or something?
I mean, no. Just got to guess. Raw number here. He's been in the league since 2014, but he either missed a season or that was a lockout season. No, because he for 2 years it looks like he's out of the league. But he's played in the NHL for 10 years.
180 games.
180 games.
Yeah.
393 games.
Nice job, Samuel.
In which time
Get well
he has
soon.
89 points. And has been a minus 34.
Not in Buffalo. All right. He's come to life.
You're right. In Buffalo, he's been a plus 4.
Boom.
With that, let's get out of here.